As you've progressed further into Iceborne, you may have tried to craft various armors, charm upgrades, and layered armor sets, only to be immediately and heavily blue-balled, confronted by an unknown and frightening component, the Research Commission Ticket Plus. Alas, have no fear, I'm going to walk you through which optional quests you can do to farm them. I'm Lighted Up Dan, and on the channel we cover action RPGs, roguelikes, and MMOs, including lots of Monster Hunter World. I like to produce content that aims to reduce the overwhelm and the unknown of the game. If you haven't caught any of my event roundup videos or weapon overviews, I highly recommend them. There's something for everyone. Just very quickly, I want to say thank you for showing up and getting us to around 80% of unsubscribed viewers on the channel, with the majority of you returning. If you enjoy the videos, do subscribe. And with that said, let's get to it. While there are 4 quests that do give you the Research Commission Ticket Plus, one of them requires an absolute ton of setup, and the other is one of the most difficult quests in the game and doesn't even give you a 100% chance to drop it. So I'm going to be focusing on 2 that are quite accessible and there's a 100% chance to get it. The first is an MR 125 optional quest, Hymn of Moon and Sun, taking place in the Elder's Recess, pitting you up against a Gold Rathian and a Silver Rathalos. The client of this optional quest is the Celiana Armorer, and it will only appear once you've already unlocked the Impact Mantle, as this is the optional quest to upgrade it to the Impact Mantle Plus. If you haven't done that, it's a quest called Showdown the Muck and the Maul, a high rank 9-star quest that unlocks after you've already defeated 5 different threat level 1 tempered monsters. These can be across base game and across Iceborne as well. This will be the Astera Armorer, as of course we're talking about the base game Impact Mantle here. Gold Rathian and Silver Rathalos are an enormous pain in the ass at the best of times, and that's when you're fighting them individually one at a time. I highly recommend you don't do what I did, which was to do this quest solo. Bad idea. It was one of the most obnoxious hunts I've ever done. Do yourself a favor and SOS flare, or do it in a session with your buddies, whatever. You'll start off facing the Gold Rathian by itself, and then after a certain amount of time or damage, I'm not sure which one, I think it's damage, the Silver Rathalos will show up and you'll have to fight both of them at the same time. And no, they don't fight each other, they are solely focused on you. Yeah. They're after that fresh roasted hunter booty. Both Gold Rathian and Silver Rathalos are effectively the ultimate versions of the monsters in this game. They have a bunch of additional attacks and attack animations, dealing an absolute ton of damage, inflicting elemental blights all over the place and very strong poison as well, charging side to side across the map, making it an absolute nightmare to pin them down. Did I mention that I think you should do this in a group? You really should do this in a group. You're absolutely going to want to make sure that you're tenderizing the weak points before you attempt to deal damage. Their parts are hardened and you're going to struggle to really eke out any damage without tenderizing them first. If you are able to get tail severs, that's going to be helpful for avoiding some of the attacks moving forwards, but more than anything you're going to want to focus out your damage on a tenderized head, taking advantage of that weak point to help you get the fight done as soon as possible. Consider bringing consumables to deal with poison and having 20 or more fire resistance to give yourself fire blight immunity. There's going to be a lot of very fast hitting attacks, both close range and long range fireballs as well, so perhaps points in evade extender or evade window or both could be really useful as well. Once you're done slaying these first and second place reprobates, you'll be rewarded with a Research Commission Ticket Plus with a chance to get even more. If you're farming for them, maybe pop a lucky voucher and you might get a few. The other, much more attractive option in my opinion, is the MR 150 optional quest Divine Surge, pitting you up against a tempered Kirin and a tempered Namiel in the Coral Highlands. As this is the quest to upgrade your Temporal Mantle, you've guessed it, you're going to need to have the Temporal Mantle unlocked. This is a string of a few quests given by the Huntsman in Astera, which introduces Lunastra and eventually gets you the Temporal Mantle. It shouldn't take you long if you haven't grabbed it already. Even though these are tempered elders and it's an MR 150 quest rather than 125, trust me, this one is so much easier and it's more fun and preferable. Sure, Kirin can be a pain in the ass, but compared to Gold Rathian and Silver Rathalos, I'll take a goddamn Pikachu unicorn any day. Another fun one to do in a group so you don't have to deal with these tempered elders by yourself. Tempered Kieran can be really dangerous and will zap the crap out of you super fast. Make sure you come in with 3 stun resists so you don't even really need to worry about the lightning resist. But do be mindful that whether you have 20 lightning resist or not, you won't have paralysis immunity, and this can be really dangerous during the fight. Keeping up with it can be a challenge when it's galloping about the place. Do your best to try and get mounts off whenever you can. Focus out your damage on the head to get KOs. Go for wall bangs whenever the monster's not enraged, and when it is enraged it'll be cloaked in its lightning and your attacks will bounce off it. Here ensuring very high weapon sharpness, purple sharpness preferably, and more than anything just focusing your damage out on the horn, which won't be cloaked, will allow you to move on with the fight. Roll in with the squad, boop the snoot, scorn the horn, live the dream. Tempered Namiel can be super tricky as well. 20 or more water resistance is going to do you a solid to not get water blighted. I rock Coalescence and Resuscitate, so I kind of like getting blighted and then removing it, but I'm crazy. It's a little bit weird because you've got lots of water attacks to deal with, but you've also got lots of lightning attacks to deal with as well, and our Pokemon elemental brains can't really handle that. Like, how can it be both? I think the worst thing to really deal with is all of her water cannons or water beams. They feel super unpredictable and they seem to track you and catch you no matter what you do. By keeping close to her belly, legs, and head, you can avoid this for the most part. It's when she creates distance from you that it gets dangerous. Focus out your attention on the head, aim to get mounts, KOs, part breaks, and wall bangs whenever the monster's not enraged, being mindful of any of her more deadly attacks like the Supernova, and of course watching your step, because when you're stood in water, that is a chance for you to get exploded when she does a lightning blast. Once you're done experiencing dropping the toaster in the bathtub, you'll once again be rewarded with a Research Commission ticket plus with the chance to get more. So once again, if you're farming for this, and chances are you've tuned into this video because you're planning to, you may want to use a lucky voucher on this quest. Very quickly, I'm just going to mention that you can do the Arch-Tempered Velkhana, the place where the winter sleeps, which is an MR100 event which you can do without any other requirements. If you're strictly after the Research Commission ticket pluses, this probably won't be a priority for you, as it's got a 24% chance of dropping the ticket. That is a very high drop rate, so if you're wanting to do ATV anyway, and the Research Commission ticket plus is just a nice little happy accident in your pants, then by all means do this. You're gonna need those Velkhana tickets anyhow for a bunch of stuff, but be warned, this is one of the absolute hardest monsters in the game and will really put you through your paces. One of the ultimate tests for you as a hunter. Just in case you're watching this but you don't actually really know what the Research Commission ticket pluses are going to be used for, I mentioned there's a bunch of different armors, there's Palico gear, there's workshop weaponry upgrades as well for some of the funny weapons, some charm upgrades which are going to be pretty useful, but for me, the biggest thing is that it's a requirement for all of these master rank layered armors that you want to make. When I was getting around to make this Kulve Taroth one here, I was like, Research Commission ticket plus. Hey? Well now we know. Have you been farming these optionals for Research Commission ticket pluses? Has it been something that you've been after and you've not really known how to go about getting it? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. As mentioned at the start, thank you so much for showing up and getting us to about 80% of unsubscribed viewers. With the majority of you returning, if you enjoy the videos, do subscribe. Hop on into the Discord, which is open to all of you. We get together in group sessions and do hunts together all the time, jumping into open lobbies during the live streams on Twitch as well. I'll put all these links in the description for you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the new world.